Hello beautiful people of the internet, it's Kendall here, and today we're talking about the best K-beauty of 2017. Before we get started on that, it's my pleasure to say that this video is sponsored by Poshmark. So what is Poshmark? Poshmark is basically a website where people put their old clothes, their makeup that they never opened or that they don't use anymore, their old bags and shoes, basically stuff that they don't wear anymore or that they just want to clear out some space and to make some extra money. They can sell it on Poshmark. Basically, it's like a social media app where you can post whatever items that you would like to sell, and they can be circulated and shared so that people know that you are selling these items, and then you can get them sold to the people that would wear them and love them and take joy in them the way that you can't anymore. And as you can imagine, when people are selling their things, there's a lot of brands on this website. I've seen Nike, I've seen Louis Vuitton, I've seen Adidas or Adidas, I've seen Old Navy, Forever 21. The prices really range from very, very inexpensive to very, very expensive, and you can get good deals on all of those things. So I've made a closet, and there's some things that I just need to get rid of because I had no business buying them in the first place. And to some extent, I just need to get rid of stuff to free up space. Like that time I miraculously ended up with another Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector thing in Opal. I already have one of these. I don't remember how I got a second one, but this was really $38 and I'm selling it for way less than $38. So take it. I've never used it. The seal's never been broken. I don't have any use for it. Someone take it off my hand. Also getting rid of these pumps. These are the pumps that I had for my graduation pictures. That is the only time I've worn these pumps. Cute, gorgeous, blush pink pump, and it worked for the occasion, but I'm not gonna wear a pump. Also, for those of you that really love that like mustard coat that I wore in some vlogs a few videos back, I'm selling that because I can't fit that freaking coat. I'm a little bit too thick to wear it, but not thick enough for it to fit. So it's in a really weird place. So like for some tall girls that would like to try out the coat, selling it. Not to mention sweaters, because I have a million sweaters. Basically, I'm just telling you, I need you to take my addiction away. I need you to take my addiction to things like sweaters and florals and pink things and makeup that I don't use, and just take it off my hands. Feel free to download the free app down in the description box, and also check out my closet because I'm trying to get rid of stuff, so I'd really appreciate it. Also, because I'm nosy and I have a problem, I would love to see your actual closets because your girl might end up buying something, let's be real. So big thanks to Poshmark for sponsoring this video. And now let's get into what we were asking about, the best in K-beauty. So my big thing is when I'm trying out Korean brands, I realize that I am brown. So if it's not brown girl friendly, I can't recommend like at all. And everything that's super flattering on a whole host of skin tones that you might want to get your hands on in K-beauty. So let's start. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about makeup. I considered doing a whole skincare thing too, but I have my skincare circulating out all the time, and so it's really hard to decide what is my best of the best. But recently I've started to like stop using as many things at a time so that I can really focus and see what's best for my skin. Hopefully in the next few months I can give you guys a way more comprehensive best of Korean skincare video, so keep a lookout for that. Some of the things in here are full-on holy grails. Like, I don't ever want to be without these items ever. Primer. This is not my favorite primer for a Korean brand. This is my favorite primer because primers overall are not my favorite thing. They tend to get weird and bunch up in my pores. They get flaky and gross. I've tried a lot of Korean primers, US primers, I've tried Western primers, whatever, and they all, for the most part, pretty much suck. Because either A, they make my foundation look worse, or B, they do nothing. This is the only one that is like close to my heart, close to my emotions, close to where I feel things. And that is the Touch in Seoul No Problem Primer. I've seen people talking about this primer a bit, and I don't know if people realize that it's a Korean brand, but I don't think it matters. It's just like bomb because it's a good primer. Basically, this is kind of that smoothing, pore filling primer that kind of just makes your foundation just glide on effortlessly. Generally speaking, I don't like pore filling primers because they just do weird things on my skin and it makes my foundation act weird. This one works really, really well with literally every foundation I've ever used with it. Also, it smells good. Not that you buy a primer for it to smell good, but yeah, I just find that the pores around like my forehead and around under my lip, I tend to have like kind of like uneven texture around there for some reason, like on my forehead. And it just smooths everything out, especially around my nose too. I tend to get a little crepey and gross around there. And it just smooths everything out so that when I apply my foundation, it applies better. I can like get things moving more adequately. And yeah, this is just a really dope primer. I know it's pink, but it doesn't leave off any color. There's no like color correcting properties in this, but it's just a really good primer. So check it out. You won't be sorry. You will enjoy it, I'm sure. Obviously your girl's brown, so I'm not using foundations by and large from Korean brands. But I will give a shout out to Innisfree for expanding their shade ranges for their cushions because they deserve it. They deserve that. You did that. You did that. And of the two cushions, I would have to say that I prefer the Aquafit, which is different from my initial review. I actually preferred the matte one. But when I'm actually traveling around and I need something that's like no muss, no fuss, but it gets the job done type stuff, Aquafit was actually really great on trains, on planes, in a cab, in a hat, on a bat. It actually worked very well. This is a very sheer coverage foundation. It is a cushion. For shade reference, I am in shade W37 Golden Tan. This is the second to darkest shade, which of course is not ideal. You would want it to go darker, but it went dark at all, which is just not something that happens. This is the Powder 4 Room Finishing Powder. It's a translucent setting powder. It comes with a little puff. I don't tend to use the puff very often. I just use a brush and use it. And it does not give me an annoying white cast. I have tried other Korean translucent powders that do leave like a visible white cast on my face. And this one is pretty much the closest to invisible I've found in Korean powders. It also sets my face really well. I don't tend to get like the really ugly like HD flashback powder situation going on. By the way, I'm gonna link all products down in the description box where you can find them. So if you would like to try them, that's where they will be. I've been using this blush so much that it's kind of like crusty and gross right now, so I kind of don't want to show it, but I'm gonna show it anyway. This is the 3CE Purity Red Blush. This is from their Red Recipe collection, and if you can see, I've like scratched into it because I got it wet and then it got cast over and it was just kind of gross. And this is just a really good tomato red blush. I'm wearing it today. I really like red blushes. I'm on a red blush kick. I own too many at this point, but it's ever growing, and this is the one that started it all. One thing that I want to address though, because I think some people would find this a little off-putting when they get it, it's a dry blush, okay? And to me that's not a problem because I wear very, very dewy foundations a lot of times. Using a dewy foundation with this, it will make sure that it's not too opaque of a color because it's red, right? You don't want to just like looking clown it fabulous. This kind of melds it out and makes sure that it really blends into the skin, and also it kind of sets that area as well. And I think it just melts really nicely into foundation and it looks really pretty. Like I'm wearing it today. It's giving me like some cute little rosiness, little cute flush there. But I will say it swatches atrociously. But that's fine. I don't want like a giant red streak on my face. Versus say this Becca blush, which is also, well, it looks kind of orange on camera, but it's really smooth, which is cute, but like I don't want that on my face necessarily. And it's easier to build up one that's a little bit more on the dry side as I drop this. So yeah, it's like a very natural looking blush. It's not hard to blend it into the skin and make it look really wearable, which some wouldn't think is possible with a tomato red blush. And then two highlights that stole my heart. These are two of my favorite highlights, not just in K-Beauty, but just in general. One is really inexpensive. This is Tony Moly's Crystal Blusher in Bold Glamour. It's really, really smooth. It's really, really icy. I still had blush on my finger. That's cute. It's really, really smooth and really kind of icy yellowish golden color. If you have very dark skin, it might be a little ashy. On me, sometimes it can even go a little ashy, but today it looks fine. I mixed it with the other highlighter that I'm going to talk about, but it's really, really smooth. It doesn't have any annoying glitter. It just sits very well on the skin and it's not super powdery and it blends well. And then after you just set it with some setting spray, it just melds into the skin and it becomes so cute and so dewy. And it's inexpensive. I want to say I spent like $6 maybe $5-6 on this. The second one is one that I actually broke, so I'm trying to be exceedingly careful with it. But this is a blush from Pony Effect. This is the First Chance highlighter. This is essentially the same color, but just a lot more yellow. So I found that it's a lot more flattering on more people. So there that is. It's significantly more gold and more yellow compared to the Tony Moly one, but it's super duper smooth. It's super flattering. I'm wearing it today. It actually shines more yellow on my face than it does on my arm for some reason, but there you go. It's like a super strong, obnoxious, high class Instagram baddie highlight, and it's so cute and tiny. I kind of tend to lose it though. That's the only issue, because it's so obnoxiously small in my collection that it's just like, where'd it go? Okay, let's get to eyeshadows. I know I've always said that Korean eyeshadows kind of suck, especially those in palettes. For the most part, I take it back. I've come to realize that it's not all eyeshadows that suck. It's drugstore or road shop brands that suck. So if someone ever finds a Korean road shop brand eyeshadow situation that doesn't suck, and it's in a palette, and it's not like a you make the palette type palette, like the Etude House single shadows that you make into a palette, bomb. The Etude House palettes, garbage, trash, wouldn't recommend them to an enemy. They're terrible. But if you're willing to shell out a little bit more money, these are bomb. The one that I'm actually wearing on my eyes right now is one from Hamish. This is the Brick Brown palette. It's essentially a very warm palette, has everyday colors. I've been wearing this a lot recently. I wore it when I went to Korea this last time, and it was super convenient. I just love it. It's super shimmery and wearable, and it's just really nice and effortless. Look at the pigment. This is over a red finger, by the way, so that's like some powerful pigment there. And then it comes with this like glitter topper, which is really pretty. It's kind of chunky, but it's like a loose glitter, so I'm not surprised. Like a pressed glitter rather. Color, pigment, yes, I'm a fan. And it's also very compact, so it's not really large and obnoxious, and it was really nice to travel with, so I am a fan. Also, if we're gonna talk eyeshadow palettes, Korean eyeshadow palettes, I'm starting to get this feeling that Chosungah. This is the Bricket Shadow Hit 10 Choco eyeshadow palette. I really like this eyeshadow palette. I've been using it all the time. It's just a super wearable palette. It reminds me a lot of like the original Naked palette. It's filled with just all of these really neutral kind of colors that can work on a lot of skin tones. If you're darker skin, I would focus more on these shadows right here. So like you can get some super high highs and some super dark, so it really does run all the values in there, and I really do appreciate that. Super warm brown in here. That's one thing that's missing. Like this is okay. If I could get a darker version of this that's more orange, perfection. I still really like this palette. I use it on its own. I use it with other palettes. It's really slim and easy to take with you and stuff, so that's what I'm feeling about this. So yes, big ups to Chosungah. I feel like eyeliners are the thing that you should try from Korean brands if you're gonna try anything from Korean brands. I don't know why, but Korean liners are so bomb. They don't budge, they don't bleed, they don't act all funky. Generally speaking, of course, there are some duds in there, of course. One of my personal favorites is the Misha Natural Fix Brush Pen Liner. This has replaced that gold liner that I had from Misha that I guess is discontinued now. I don't know. This is a very similar pen, so I've been enjoying it. It's a brush pen, not a felt pen, so it's a lot more flexible, and it doesn't hurt your eyes like felt tips can, because that's really annoying. And I can get a really super thin, super precise line. Granted, I don't have oily lids, so if you have oily lids, you might want to try and see how this works for you. I don't know if it claims to be waterproof, but I've never had any issues at all with this like smudging and bleeding, so I really do like this. And when it dries to a semi-matte finish. So I know some people like their things to be super duper matte, so this probably wouldn't be for you. But it's not uber shiny either, it's just like somewhere in between. But sometimes I like a patent leather liner, like I like it to look really glossy and really like wet. So that's cool with me. Next I have the Tony Moly, however you pronounce it, the gel eyeliner. First of all, it's adorable. Like, look at it, it's adorable. But it comes with its own little brush at the top. Mine is dirty because I use it. And when you open it, you have your liner right there. I've had this for a few months, and usually gel eyeliners have a habit of drying out super duper quickly for some reason. I don't know why. And so far this one has been holding up very, very well. Where the other liner was more of like a semi-matte, this one is definitely more of a cream matte black eyeliner. It's still kind of wet, but gel liners don't tend to have a super shiny finish, so this one's really good for if you want that very bold, intense wing, or if you just want your liner to be very, very black. It will be that tonight, and it's so satisfying to just draw like a gel liner, and it's just like bam, cut it. I have mine in black, but I think they come in other colors. I'm not particularly sure. I think it comes in a brown or something like that. I also put this on my waterline, and I found that it stays really, really well on my waterline, so I was really happy about that. It doesn't bleed, it doesn't get all weird and gooey. Is that the right word? Like, it doesn't transfer all weird in my lower line, so everything's looking pristine at the end of the day. Mascara! Mascara. I have two. First is the Innisfree long, skinny, long mascara. It looks like this. Basically, this brush has this tiny, tiny, tiny itty bitty bristles. And so if you wanted to do a very, very clean and defined mascara, this will do that. But to be honest with you, I'm more likely to use this only on my lower lash line or in my eyebrows. I actually used it in my eyebrows today so that I get like more defined eyebrows, in the sense that you can see every single hair in there. Like you can see it. I like to do that if I find that my eyebrows are looking too flat against my face, if that makes sense. And I want to bring out some of the texture in my eyebrows. I think this is really cool. But yeah, it is a very like natural looking mascara, which sometimes I really enjoy. It doesn't add a whole lot of volume, but it's a lot of length, so it just looks very, very pretty and flirty and all of that jazz. So I do really like this. I do find that it makes doing my lower lashes a lot easier than when I use any of those like giant brush mascaras that kind of get in the way and get a little smudgy and gross. I've also been using the Airwing Lash Cara Long from Peripera. This mascara is kind of funky. It does come with a slightly curved brush, so I do find that that's really comfortable, like against my lashes, so I'm not poking myself in the eye all the time. The brush is kind of big, but not too much. But it is a fiber mascara, so it builds upon itself. And those fibers kind of lock around your lashes to make them more full and make them more voluminous and long and obnoxious. This is a mascara I like to use when I don't plan on wearing false lashes, because it gives me a lot of lash. I've had so many people ask me like, are you wearing falsies? What falsies are you wearing today? And I'm usually just wearing this bad boy if I'm not wearing actual lashes. It is hard to get off though. It actually comes with its own eye makeup remover, so that's when you know it's real. But other things will get it off, but just keep that in mind. You're gonna need an oil-based makeup remover to get into that bad boy, because she don't like to budge. On the flip side of that, you know it won't be smudging and going all weird if you're out in the rain and if you're sweating and stuff like that. Okay, lipsticks. No surprise for either of these. I'm sure everyone's gonna be like, okay, when she gets to lips, she's gonna talk about Pony Effect On Fleek and 3CE Inked Heart. And you were right. These lipsticks, these two lipsticks, I have worn so many times. Pony Effect On Fleek probably more than this one, but I always, for the last year, maybe a year and a half, I've had so many people ask me, Kendall, what is that lip color? It's the color I'm wearing right now. Pony Effect On Fleek is my perfect nude. It is my favorite nude. This lipstick looks so good regardless of if I have a tan. I'm pretty pale right now because, you know, winter's in full effect. If I have on a lot of bronzer, whatever my eye is, it don't matter. If I'm doing a natural look, if I'm doing a dramatic look, this is the perfect nude for my brown girls that are around me. If you're lighter than me, it's more of a statement lip. It's like, yes, I'm wearing a brown, yellowy, and on some people it actually looks a bit gray brown lip. I'm trying to be fierce right now. If you're darker than me, it's more of like a tan, and you can use a little bit of a darker pencil around the edges to give it more of that kind of like melted in look. It's more of a nude. Oh my god, this is terrible swatching. This is what she looks like, okay? If I don't know what to wear, I'm probably wearing this lipstick. As far as formula goes, this is the Pony Effect Stay Fit Matte Lip Color. I do really like this. Finish wise, I found that I haven't tried the entire line, but I've tried about 4 or 5 of them, and I found that the consistency is overall pretty consistent. Consistency is consistent, and it's quite thin. It is drying. It's not necessarily the most comfortable as it could be, but if you take good care of your lips and you really exfoliate and you moisturize well, it shouldn't be bad, but I don't find that it's particularly uncomfortable, but it can accentuate some of the dryness in your lips if they are particularly dry. It's just a really nice brown nude, and as it dries down, depending on the look you have, it can be more gray, it could be more pink, it could be more yellow, it could be more brown. It looks more brown today for some reason, probably because I'm very like bronzed right now. And it's just such a pretty color. I don't have any nudes that are like this. If you don't get anything from this, get this lipstick. Get this lipstick. You will thank me later. Trust me, it is such a beautiful color. And then we have Inked Heart, and you're probably like, Kendall, those are the same color, and they're not. They are. You'll notice that I have a theme though. I do tend to like brownie nudes, darker brown nudes. I don't tend to go very light with my lipsticks overall. And I have 3CE Inked Heart under that. So you see how this one actually turns out looking more rose now that it's next to this one, because this is very, very like orange nude, and it's just mad flattering. I don't know what it is, but on my skin tone it just sits really, really well, especially if you're wearing warm colors, because everybody has a friggin' warm tone palette these days. So if you have a warm tone palette on your eyes and you go in with this on your lips, either full lip or if we do gradient lip, it's still really, really pretty. It's not transfer proof. It is just a traditional but matte lipstick, whereas the Pony Effect one does dry down because it's a liquid lipstick formula. And last but not least, setting sprays. Girl, okay, I have two. One I'm gonna mention because I like it, and I think more people will like this one, but it's not my favorite. Let me explain what I'm talking about. This is the Labiotte Radiant Fix Mist, and this bad boy has done me well. It's good for, I think, most skin types. Even if you're oily, this isn't super dewy, so it's not gonna give you like some weird like oil slick type face, but granted, I kind of like that look, so to each their own. This is really good for dry skin, oily skin. First of all, it smells amazing, but you'll notice that it's not giving me a whole lot of radiance. There's just the slightest bit there, and that is what I feel like most people will enjoy from this. It's not overpoweringly dewy, but it does give you a nice healthy look. However, my personal favorite, the one that I will live and die by, the one that I didn't think I liked that much until I realized, no, I friggin' love this. This is the Aspora Face Prime Glow Fix Mist. Is this supposed to be a primer? I don't know. But this is dewy. This is hardcore dewy. So if that's not the look you're looking for, this ain't for you. But this is the look I look for. You see me beacon in the night. Do you see that? Do you see that like line of dew that just went through my arm? Yeah, it's like vinyl. Your skin is just so porcelain. Oh, and it smells good. It's just like so porcelain china smooth. Like your face looks like a teacup. I bathe in it. Only thing about this though is it's kind of hard to find overseas. Like I bought 2 bottles when I was in Korea this last time, but I did find it online. It's slightly more expensive than finding it online. But if you're ever in Korea, of course I would recommend to pick it up there, because you get everything cheaper than you would online if you have to pay taxes, import, and all that. But this is like my favorite. I don't ever want to be without it. It's so good. It's probably for more people that have dry skin, who kind of like the look of looking like they're a little sweaty. I live for it, but I understand it's not everyone's look, but I still just wouldn't feel right if I didn't let you know that this exists, because it's amazing. Okay, so these are my absolute must talk about products for 2017. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope if you've tried any of these products that you'll let me know, and let me know what you think, because I think you'll really, really like them. I really think you will. I put some of my loves in this one, some things that are really close to my heart and that understand me from a molecular stance. They know me from inside out, and I figured that I should share it with you. Also, big thanks again to Poshmark for sponsoring this video. Don't forget again to check out the link down in the description box so you can have some fun and buy some of this crap that I'm trying to get rid of. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.